Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you guys have been here before. For today's video, I'm going to go into my brush collection. In all my videos, I always talk about the types of brushes I use more so than the brands, because I feel like there are a lot of amazing brands, all different price ranges, and I feel like it's more important to know what type of brush to use, and this more so than what brand of brushes to use. So my brushes consist of a few individual brushes and then also a few sets. So the sets that I use are the Morphe Define and Sculpt set, the Morphe Credible Eye set, and then as far as individual brushes, all the ones you see with red tops are from the Morphe Elite collection. And then the only other individual brush I have is this highlighting brush, which is the Morphe M510, which we can just start our video with this brush since it's the only individual brush of its kind. So this is the highlighting brush that I use. It's a really fluffy brush. Definitely too big for the crease, but perfect for highlight. So whenever I go for any kind of highlight, I much prefer these brushes over fan brushes. While we're on face brushes, I'll move on to this one. This is the Morphe E41. This is a really rounded, big, fluffy brush. I like to use this as a powder brush to apply all over face powder, usually a sheer wash. I never use face powder as just my foundation, but I always like to set my foundation so that way it doesn't move, because I do have sort of normal skin, so I can get some oils, and this helps apply the powder beautifully. Next, for face brushes, I have the Morphe E2. So this is another fluffy brush, not nearly as big as that one, but it has more of an oval shape to it. So I like to use this one to apply my bronzer with. It's like the perfect shape to just get in there perfectly. And now on to my blush brush. So this is from the Define and Sculpt set. It's an angled brush. You could also use it for contouring, but I prefer to use pointed brushes for contouring, which I will get into next. But as far as my blush, I like to use angled brushes that are very fluffy as well, but definitely a lot smaller than, say, that bronzer brush that I used. So for contour, I like to use the Morphe E53, which is another one of their elite brushes. It tapers at the end, so it's really good for getting in the hollows of your cheeks, around your whole forehead. For foundation, I like to use the Morphe M439. I'm just gonna stop saying the word Morphe because all these brushes are Morphe. But anyways, this is the round-headed foundation brush. It's really great for buffing and foundation. And then next, I like to use this Morphe, I said it again. Next, I go in with this brush, which is a really small dome brush. It's a lot denser packed, and I like to use that for blending out my eyelid primer. If I use one, it's rare that I do, but when I do choose to use it, this brush is perfect for it. And then I have this brush. So this is another pointed fluffy brush, except for this one's a lot smaller than the one that I use for contouring. This one I like to use to set under my eyes, apply powder to my eyelids. That first initial powder that I use to just set down my concealer or my eye primer so that my eyeshadows go on a lot smoother. Now for eye brushes. And I'm not going to show you all the brushes. I'm just going to show you the ones that I use the most. Some of them I use super rare. All my goat hair brushes I use very not often. Only if my other brushes are dirty. I don't think there's anything wrong with goat hair. It just applies with a lot more sheer, and I like my pigment to really show up, so I don't really go for these as often. Any brushes that you see that are white are goat hair, and then any brushes that are like black or darker in color are usually synthetic. Just so a little tip. So as far as highlight goes for my eyes, so my inner corners, under my brows, I like to use really tiny brushes that are kind of like squared off. You can just see that. And I'll use like the bigger one for under my eyebrow, and I'll use this tinier one for my inner corner. You don't even need both. You can really just stick with one and they both do the same job. So yes, for under my eyes, I like to go in with the pencil brush. So it's a really small, it's sort of domed shape again, and it's a lot more densely packed. That's perfect for buffing out that lower lash line color. Other things I like to use on the lower lash line are a square definer brush. This is good for getting really tight under that lash line to get that initial color down before you blend it out. Or I'll use a pointed brush, but a really tiny pointed brush. It's not necessarily tiny enough for eyeliner, but it's good for also laying down that lower lash line color, at least in my opinion. For my all over lid shades, I usually go in with flat synthetic brushes. This one's a concealer brush, it's bigger. I just use it for when I want to go much faster, but it does the same job. And the next up for blending brushes, these two are my favorites. So this one is great for laying down your initial color because it's really fluffy, really can get that color all washed over your whole lid. And then when I want it to be a little more precise, I go in with this brush. It has more of a point at the end, so it's really good for just getting right in that crease really well. And then just some other random brushes that I like to use. I like these types of brushes, the ones with spoolies on the end. It's great for when I want to buff out any of that excess eyelid primer that I might use, or even to like help get rid of some clumps in my lashes when I'm wearing mascara. Right now I don't have mascara on, I'm wearing eyelash extensions. But when I do use mascara, sometimes it does get really clumpy if you have like a older mascara or just one that's like just not your favorite. But that's great for making it look beautiful. But anyways, as far as brushes goes, that's all the ones that I like to use. I hope this video helped you guys and taught you guys a little bit more about brushes, since I never like to go really into detail in all my videos. I hope this helps out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully see you guys next time. Bye!